Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about all the steps and the processing time that it takes to sponsor a foreign worker for a green card. There are many steps involved in such a process, but what most people are confused about is the timeline. How long is it going to take a green card from the moment my employer starts to file for me until I can actually hold a green card in my hand? So in this video, we'll talk about all the steps, all the current timeline that it takes to get a green card based on an employment sponsorship. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Sapochnik and I'm an immigration attorney based in San Diego, California. I help employers and individuals achieve their green card goals all over the United States. And so if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people like you. The process of immigrating somebody through employment is very confusing and most people are concerned about the timeline. How long it's going to take and what are all the steps involved in getting sponsored by a US employer? Well, don't worry, in this video I'll tell you all the steps and the time frame that it takes to get a green card through a job offer. Remember, the general processing times vary from case by case. Some cases are more complicated than others. But in general, there's a common time frame of what it takes to get a green card filed by an employer on behalf of an employee. The usual green card process involves 3 steps. Step number 1, a successful completion of what is called a labor certification, PERM. That process can take anywhere from 6 months to over a year, depending on how your case is filed and where was it filed. Step number 2, approval of the I-140 immigrant petition. That is the basis for the entire case with immigration. That process can take over 8 months these days, but there is premium processing if you pay an extra fee, and then you can get that part to be approved in only 2 weeks. And finally, we have step number 3, which is the adjustment of status. If you're inside the United States, this is the final step of the green card, or if you're abroad, you can file for consular processing to be able to collect your immigrant visa overseas at a US embassy. Depending on your green card category, EB2 or EB3, which we'll talk about it in a few minutes, there is an option for you to file the I-140 and the 45 concurrently at the same time. And at that point, if you do so, you'll be also eligible for a work permit and a travel authorization. So how long will the PERM process, labor certification, will likely take? The purpose of the PERM process and the labor certification is to test the job market. That process requires the employer to post multiple job advertising for that particular position. That's the only way the Labor Department can be convinced that there are no US workers that can fit this job. At the same time, so before these ads can run, the employer must file what is called a prevailing wage determination. This is a form they file online to determine what is the wage that this employer must pay in the future for this position. It is a really important step to do before you start advertising, because if you use the wrong wage, your entire recruitment process can be void and canceled. This is a very important step to make sure that you have the right job description. You'll be able to get the best wage determination from the Labor Department. Now, that process can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months. Those prevailing wage determinations are being delayed right now, so it's important to plan this process correctly so you know what to expect. Once you have the prevailing wage determination certified and you have that wage, only then you should start your advertising process, which could take another 2 months. So now we're already 6 months into the process or more before we even filed our PERM application. Now remember, there's a mandatory 30-day wait time from the time the last ad runs before you can file your PERM application. So that's another 30 days that are added to this entire process. The PERM application is filed online and could be pending anywhere from 6 months or more. Hopefully, if there's no audit, your case will be certified and you'll be able to move to step number 2, file the case with the US Immigration Service. So how long will the I-140 immigrant petition process will take? Remember, you cannot file the I-140 immigrant petition unless you have a PERM labor certification approved. And you have to use the original application to send to the US Immigration Service as well. When you prepare and file the I-140 application, what the Immigration Service is interested in knowing is, first of all, is this employee currently working for the employer? And if so, is he getting paid the prevailing wage? Now, there's no requirement for the employee to get paid this wage at the moment, but if the employee is not getting paid, the employer must prove that they have the ability to pay that wage in the future. The way they do that is by providing their tax returns or any other financial documents to show that they have the financial ability to pay that salary in the future. These are some of the most important documents in the I-140 petition to ensure that the case will be approved. Once you have all the documents in order, you file the application. Currently, it's taking over a year for these I-140s to be approved, but luckily we have the premium processing service where you can pay an additional $2,500 and your case will be expedited in 2 weeks. Now remember, I mentioned to you before that in certain cases, you can file the I-140 or 45 at the same time. The way we know that is because if you apply under the EB2 category and you can check if your priority date is current, then you can file both applications at the same time. If you're an EB3 category and your priority date is current, you can also file both cases at the same time. But if your category is not current, meaning that there's no visa available at the moment, you just file the I-140, get it approved, and then you just have to wait for your visa numbers to become current before you can file the last step. Currently, the I-45 applications are pending over 25 months in most states, and therefore, when you file for the adjustment of status, you also get a temporary work permit and an advance parole to allow you to travel out of the country in case you need to do so during those 20 to 30 months that these applications are pending. Hopefully, under the Biden administration, we'll see a faster movement of these cases, but at the moment, this is what it is. So overall, we have 3 steps, as I mentioned before: the PERM labor certification, the I-140 immigrant petition, and the adjustment of status process if you're inside the United States and your priority date is current. The process of sponsoring an employee through an employer is not a simple process. We've got a lot of forms, we've got a lot of deadlines, and if you mess up any of these steps, the entire process can fall and crumble. Therefore, it's really important to work with a competent attorney that understands this process from A to Z and can guide you in all the different steps that you need. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments below. If you like this video, give us a big like. I really appreciate that. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of my videos and future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.